Welcome to Knox Community Schools podcast, telling our story. Welcome to another podcast for Knox Community School Corporation featuring Mr. Charles Ratliff. I am your host, Mr. Mick, Superintendent of Knox Community Schools. Our podcast is designed to showcase the outstanding individuals, achievements, and success stories of students and staff of Knox Community School Corporation. Through this platform, we are committed to telling our story in a meaningful and authentic way, strengthening the connection between our schools and the community we serve. Hello, Mr. Ratliff.
Good morning, Mr. Mick. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How are you doing today, okay?
Doing good.
All right. Well, before we start talking about ADC, which stands for Aerial Drone Competition, tell us, our listeners, a little bit about you, yourself, and your roles here at Knox.
Very good. I teach over at the middle school. I teach language arts, 7th grade, and I have been with the Knox Community Schools 17 years. My wife, Dr. Ratliff, works up at the high school, same amount of time, and we have a daughter who's getting ready to graduate from Indiana State.
Congratulations.
Here shortly, and she's a KHS class of 22 alum. So we have been here. She's done K through senior, all at this school. So
excellent.
we love Knox.
And what's she majoring in?
She is majoring in chemistry. Thank you, Mr. Flora. And
Shout out.
She has already got a job lined up, and she's going to stay in Terre Haute and work
Good
down
for her.
there. And it's just all coming up roses.
You know, we always love to see our students who've graduated have those success stories. So that's awesome. And congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
As parents. I know that's a big win. So, drones, right? Aerial drone competition. As I walked through the middle school, after school, I walked through, I was amazed the one time, walked through the the middle school in the cafeteria, and I see your team, there's about 5, 6, 7 kids there at the couple times I've seen them, and you got the little drones, and they're flying them, but not only are they flying them and controlling them, they're flying them through obstacles and turning them around and flying them through little holes in cardboard. I'm like, this is really cool, right? Which brings us here to today to talk a little bit about this program.
Very good. Yeah, these kids can really fly those drones even better than I can, and I have my own personal drone. But this goes back to August. At the beginning of the school year, my wife, Dr. Ratliff, who's the business teacher at the high school, who's also oversees the robotics program. Now, the drones is an offshoot of the robotics. Mm-hmm. And Taylor Beagle's the middle school business teacher who has been doing the middle school robotics. And I've sort of been floating between the both, sort of assisting them where I can. She says, well, we've got this drone. They got this drone thing, this class down at Rose-Hulman, that if we go, we can be head of the line on the grant approval. So when they would write a grant, and this grant's like $1,600 to $2,000, and what it provided us, and we didn't get the drones until October, but it gave us 3 drones for 3 teams each. So we have 3 drones at the middle school, 3 drone teams, and the high school has 3 drone teams.
Awesome.
So we have enough drones to field enough drone teams that we could get out there. And they sent us all the elements and everything, the obstacles, as you were talking about, the field and everything. And we finally put all of that together. We started in the cafeteria because it was a large enough space indoors that we could fly. And then we now have moved to a room upstairs.
I saw that room.
And we've started to lay it out, and it's almost completely built. Now, the issue is, do we get to a competition? We had one scheduled, but it got canceled. But we think what we're going to do is we're going to intramural with the high school and have at least, so we can have our teams at least compete against each other and see where we stand. But right now, we're getting a feel for the elements and how to fly through those elements.
That's awesome. So as you were talking, I kind of jotted down 2 thoughts here. The competition. So the one got canceled, right? There's no other opportunities for us to go.
There's probably no other opportunities, but if we can talk to ADC and say, hey, we did at least intramural squad. Perfect. And we have some plans for next year, I think they'll okay us, and it'll be fine. And we just move on to next year and start planning next year.
If you do that, let our listeners know. Let me know. We'll put that on Facebook, and it's something I think our community would like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do it in the gym or wherever.
Yeah. And then my second thought is, this is relatively new. I mean, this started, I've only been here for 3 years, right? And this has occurred in the last 2 years or so.
Exactly. So 3 years ago, I think it was 3, it might've been 2. This is, I think, the 3rd year they've been doing robotics. So the robotics just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that were telling us down at Rose-Hulman in August, they want the same thing for drones. They want it to blow up. And one of the things that we've struggled with this year is finding the kids to come in and participate as a last minute, because most of the kids will set their schedules in the beginning. And if we don't catch them in August or September, then it's hard to get them because they're jumping around to sports and other activities.
Yeah.
And hey, that's great. I love the kids to participate in whatever they can. But we're seeing some ups and downs with attendance and participation right now. But I've also talked to fifth graders, and if I can start gathering some names, there's a couple of them, 4 or 5 that I have spotted that if when they hit sixth grade next year, I want to pull them and say, let's be a part of drones and hopefully start building that program again next year.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like you got a little plan there and you're ready to go with it. Talk to me about the connection between the drones and the robotics and school and the curriculum and subjects. How does that all work together for our listeners?
Excellent. Very good. So basically it all starts in the computer and technology classes with Miss Beagle at the middle school, Dr. Ratliff at the high school. The kids learn what's called block programming. And that block programming then translates over to the robotics. There's a portion of your competition that's called autonomous. Just like the robots have to do something for 15 seconds on their own from a program standpoint, so does the drones. You program the drone, you hit the fly button, and it flies for 15 or 20 seconds through obstacles and lands, and that's part of your grade. So you have an autonomous section. So all of that relates into computer and technology, basic programming, block programming, and Python, which is the next step that's outside of blocks. That's up at the high school. They're not doing Python at the middle school yet. They're just focusing on the block programming for the robotics and drones. And once they get that, and that's how the curriculum tie-in. So the kids learn that during the day, and when they participate in the after-school curriculum, robotics and drones, they can apply what they learned to what they're working on as an extracurricular.
Perfect. That's awesome. That's awesome. Is there any students you'd like to mention?
So I have 2 8th graders that I keep telling my wife, watch out, these guys are coming up. Alex and Gabe. Alex and Gabe are probably my best flyers. They really know how to put those through. And Alex is just focused on his pilotship. So when he hits a circle, he's going smoothly through. Gabe, a little bit, he'll have to check it and then kind of go through. But Alex, and then when they start to fly, and they do the racetrack thing where the drones go round and round, they can get them going really fast. And those 2 were the ones we just got the ramps fixed on the game field that were able to tilt the ramps and put the balls in play and knock them off the pillars and move them around. They learned that just this last Thursday. Sadly, though, we haven't gotten to the programming part yet because we're still trying to learn the field elements and the flying. But my goal is next year we'll have the programming down pat.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see this. See this all in action.
All come together.
And it's just where my mind's at right now is in school. There's so many different types of students, right? And this is one avenue for the student that loves computers, loves drones, right, to be a part of this because it's really cool.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about the future, right? So we're still in the beginning stages as you're talking. What does the future of this program look like?
The next year, if everything goes as we planned, I assisted Dr. Ratliff at a robotics competition on Saturday at the CMA, Culver Military Academy, and our teams. We had 2 teams competing. Good job. They were right about midline. We met with Joe Clifford at North Judson, a couple other coaches, one from South Central. And what we're laying out next year, because the competitions are few and far between and great distances away, and we'll have to do those competitions if we want to have anybody qualify for state and go fly at state at Indy or down at Rose-Hulman, you have to do those big competitions. Okay. But to train the kids to fly in those competitions, you need some practice. You need other things to get them ready. And so what we're thinking about doing is starting a league next year. And what that league would consist of is us, North Judson, Tri-Township, South Central, maybe even LaPorte. And then it wouldn't cost us anything to go and compete with each of these teams. all we would have to do is just host once. So for 5 months, one school would host a site, and once a month we would go and compete against other teams, like in a league,
Awesome.
like a bowling league,
Yeah.
like a baseball league, whatever. This would be the drone league and the robotics league. And we would go once a month. So once a month, there would be a robotics competition with just these schools. Once a month, there would be a drone competition with just these schools.
That's awesome.
And it wouldn't be as long. It wouldn't be an all-day affair. We were only looking at 2 or 3 hours, and it could be on an after school or something, or on a Saturday. And we're excited about that. So I'm actively trying to recruit, and I'm thinking of next year. Right now, again, like I said, with other activities, the kids are in and out. It's just, not as stable as like I would like it. But if I can get those kids recruited and get 3 solid teams, and I need at least 3 to 4 students per team. And once we get that set up, 16 to 20 kids, if I can get them consistently coming, we would have a very decent drone competition team next year.
Yeah. So our listeners are listening to this right now. And if I'm a parent, I'm like, I'm really interested in getting some more information, right? I'm assuming you want them to reach out to you.
Oh, absolutely. They can send me an email at the school,
Okay.
Shoot me an email, cratliff@Knox, and I would be happy to answer anybody's questions.
And I think the other thing about this is I could see some communities, businesses getting behind this too.
Yeah,
right?
we would love to have some business sponsorship to help do some. We are going to have to do some fundraising next year because we don't know what we will be able to get in grants. That's always an unknown.
Okay.
Do we get enough to pay for registration? That's $600 just for the middle school, $600 for the high school. That's $200 a team. And then these big competitions, it's $85 a team to pay for, which the grant didn't pay for. We would have to do some fundraising for that.
Excellent. So if there's any businesses that want to help support this, reach out to Mr. Ratliff. Last question I have here for you. Do you have a cool story? Is there any good stories, any aha moments that the kids have had or anything like that?
Yes. We just this last Thursday, we meet one night a week every Thursday, and we were down flying the field. The field has gotten to the point where these guys can actually, and I had Gabe and Alex flying. Gabe flew his into an obstacle and it flipped, and we've had our first injury on a drone.
Oh.
Broke a propeller.
Uh-oh.
He brings it over and he says, what do I do? And I showed him how to find the packet, find the tool. We popped the old propeller off. I made him look for the propeller, find it, match the number, and pop it back on. And he was back to flying in like less than 5 minutes. And he was like, that's how you fix them? I said, that's how you fix them.
So there you go. It's more than just flying it.
It's more than just flying it. You got to take care
it.
of the drone and make sure you don't blow it into something and break it.
And there's your connection to the well-rounded student.
Well-rounded student, absolutely.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest has been Mr. Ratliff. Mr. Ratliff reinforces that excellence at KCSC is a journey that we are all a part of. We hope that today's conversation helped you see that Knox Community School Corporation is rooted in purpose, strength, and community. Thank you for listening to another Telling Our Story podcast from Knox Community Schools. Thank you for listening to Knox Community Schools podcast, Telling Our Story.